Hey there. Sharing something that's difficult to talk about this time, but something which might become a series of vlogs as I kind of deal with and process this over the next several decades. Um, in case you don't know, it's it came up again because in this past Sunday's post there was a article about should mugshots be released to the public, and one of the three mugshots was of my aunt who killed my niece, her own 2.5-year-old granddaughter, my aunt who is my mother's sister, and my mom kind of began to break down and ask kind of where is the compassion with these journalists, and understandably they're just doing their job, but kind of that real question in terms of the people in the family affected or related to those people. My mom's just tired. She's been visiting my aunt religiously ever since it happened, um, and and I guess what was really frustrating with the whole trial was that after it happened, the family kind of managed to still come together because of our faith. Actually, one of the things that I would say are the Filipinos community's greatest strength, but also greatest challenge. Um, but regardless of what people thought, again, people came together to pray, to heal, to try to move forward. And the trial, which happened about a year later, more or less, kind of completely undid all of that by creating this, what I would say is a fairly simplistic uh, dichotomy between whatever the two sides are arguing for, but also pitting my family against each other, um, with my cousin in the prosecution against my mom in the defense. Um, and even the trial, I mean, she was, judged by a jury of her peers, but all of them were kind of judging her as if she was someone in her normal capacity, despite the numerous testimony from mental health providers and services showing that she wasn't. But even the judge, it was clear that he kind of made up his mind from the get-go before the trial even started, because during the sentencing he said something to the effect of a grandmother's arms should be the safest place for a grandchild to be. And the thing is, for 2.5 years it was. For 2.5 years, my aunt babysat Angeline, and I guess at this point it's just kind of like, yes, she's been tried, convicted, punished, but part of that punishment is rehabilitation, because in about 30 years she will be released. She will re-enter society. So is that 30 years to give her time to become well adjusted again? Is it to give society enough time to kind of forget, so that she isn't kind of marked when she does come back into it? I guess I'm just really confused as to what this next step is, because this next step is happening over such a long period of time, to the point where I've actually almost had panic attacks, because I know that, and my mom, in some of her conversations, knows that she probably won't be around in time to see her sister again, outside of the detention center, and just feeling very lost and confused. And obviously I'm not the first one in a family to deal with this kind of issue, but I just can't fully believe in a kind of justice system which would not holistically take into account all of the people being affected. It seems on some level it's merely a simplified process for society to feel better about itself, without actually addressing what happened and what needs to happen to move forward. So, again, might become part of a series. I realize I'm opening myself up to all sorts of critiques and prejudices. Just, I don't know, I would just request that, like my mom said, have compassion for someone who feels very much stuck in the middle of all this, feeling very lost and helpless. But any thoughts you do have, feel free to share in the comments. Thank you.